Okay, so in the last video, I was taking on my list of 2015 shows that I haven't given enough of a chance to in the process of trying to watch all the stuff from 2015. And so I consolidate. I have like a giant list of all the 2015 shows that I have or haven't seen, and I consolidated it down. Decided which shows I was just gonna drop and not give a second chance to. There's a lot of shows I was just like, whatever. I'm probably never gonna like that show. So I brought it down to just the shows that I either didn't finish that I wanted to finish in the first place, the shows that I haven't seen at all, haven't started yet, and the shows that I maybe watched one or two episodes and I do still want to try and give a second chance to. And I brought it all the way down to 85 shows. What a doable number, right? That's amazing! So I'm just going to try to lightning round my way through as many of these as I can, starting with all the ones that I've either, never heard of or are, 2-minute episode shows. We're just going to blast through as many of these as possible in one video. I'm up in the chair now because I have to be, none of that couch shit. Got the camera put somewhere so I don't have to hold it up. I don't have to get ready. We can just go through these. Okay, so the first show I watched is something called Chu Feng B.E.E. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Chinese anime, which is a little odd that it's listed on my anime list, because, they've always made a big thing about how they don't list, Avatar, The Last Airbender and stuff. But this show that is, as far as I know, completely produced and made in China is counted there, although it was simulcast in Japan. They had, the Japanese dub came out at the same time as the Chinese dub, I believe. And there seems to be this, growing trend of these Chinese, anime-style shows that, for all intents and purposes, look exactly like anime, which all seem to be in, the trashiest genres possible. This one's an edgy sci-fi, violent transforming hero type thing, I guess. And the first episode was fucking hilarious, completely unintentionally. Mostly because of the production values, because, art and animation-wise, there's nothing to write home about. The main girls who, the girl who seems to be, the main important character doesn't show up till the very end of the episode, doesn't even have any dialogue, which is disappointing because she's voiced by Hanazawa Kana, my favorite voice actress, but, didn't get to say anything in the episode I watched, and I don't know if I want to continue this, but, she has an okay design, but otherwise, most of the art looks terrible. There's all these, effects on every shot, there's always all these, lens flares and stuff like that, just way too many visual effects. But the funniest fucking part is the blood effects, because when people get, shot, then it tends to have the blood splatter effect on the screen, as if it was on the lens of a camera, and it's these cheesy looking, freeware looking effects. They didn't even draw them or something. They just found blood effects online and put them into the anime. It's really funny. The first time, because the show starts off with, it's in a mall, and, a terrorist attack happens on this mall. And the first thing we see is, this shot where there's, a little girl in the foreground, and, her dad, running off to, a kiosk, and he's like, oh, you want me to grab you something, in the background? And then you just see this mech, or a quadrupedal mecha tank thing, drop through the ceiling and land on this guy, and rather than, him exploding, there's just a blood effect on the lens, and it looks so fucking hilarious, I burst out laughing. I could actually see, because this show's only, 15-minute episodes, and there's only, 6 of them, so I could totally see throwing this on with my friends, as, an awesomely bad thing to watch, because I definitely got a kick out of it, and, I'm kind of curious about it, just because it's a literal Chinese cartoon that was aired in Japan, and simulcast and everything, but man, it was really corny. Most of it was just, violence, You can tell it's going for this very, like, badass atmosphere. It kind of, like, feels like it's going for, like, a Black Lagoon, like, somewhere between, like, a Black Lagoon and a High School of the Dead feel is where I, like, on some level, I thought it was supposed to be kind of like a tongue-in-cheek fun thing, but it's so badly made that it just looks terrible. So yeah, whatever. I got a kick out of it, and I guess it's like supposed to be like, because the girl who shows up at the end is like in a powered suit kind of thing. So I think it's eventually going to be a powered suit battle type show. But yeah, I don't know. I'm dropping it for now, but maybe one day I'll finish this one just out of sheer what the hell is this? I don't think it's so awesomely bad that it would be like a great, you know, show like Garzy's Wing where it's like legitimately fun to watch. I couldn't see watching this again, but it was good for I recommend it if you want a quick laugh, especially if you're drunk. I feel like this would be perfect. Okay, I just watched Ongaku Shoujo, which was Studio Dean's entry into the Young Animator Training Project, and I didn't like it at all. It was just... Oh man, it's like a very tired and cliche story that if you've seen shows like Akiba 48 or 0048 rather, or like Symphogear, it's sort of along those lines but without the sci-fi element. Maybe better to compare it to like an Idolmaster or something, but the character types and designs are very Akiba 48. But it's like this hyperactive girl comes to this school. She really likes to sing. She meets this other girl who who's her roommate and turns out to be this Nico Nico Doga producer who she's a big fan of. She tries to get her to sing with her on this big event thing that Nico Nico's throwing so they can become famous singers. Pretty straightforward plot. The character designs are pretty cute, and the animation had a lot of character to it. They definitely, you know, went all out on the animation. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it had, there was lots of really cute moments and great facial expressions. Here's the thing. The characters were fucking annoying. The main girl was amazingly annoying. And, you know, I watch a lot of these high school anime with, you know, Genki girl main characters who are hyperactive and, you know, and proactive, but this girl was just like, I could not stand her. She was like so far beyond the impossible level of annoying that like I just would never want to have to meet someone like that in real life. It wasn't cute. It was just really obnoxious. And then the other girl was just like a generic straight man character to her, you know, goofiness. It had these like emotional attempts at like an emotional narrative towards the end, but it kind of was like really rushed, too little too late kind of thing, you know, like the first half of it really took its time, and then the second half didn't at all, and it felt like that was the part that should have taken its time. And it ends in this really corny, like, you know, the energetic girl giving a speech to the other girl on stage because she wants her to come up there and sing with her and stuff. And it's all stuff I've seen before, and stuff I wouldn't have liked anyways, because I have a hard time with, like, these idol and singing shows because I'm really not into J-pop and, like, that style of music. I wouldn't say they were really singing idol songs so much as, like, Nico Nico Doga song, like the kind of stuff that would be produced by Ryo or something, like, you know, just like Nico Nico cutesy songs, the kind of stuff that would normally have a Hatsune Miku singing over it or something like this, like that. But yeah, it was really corny and bad, and I hated the characters so much that I just couldn't enjoy it. In spite of how cute and fun some of the moments could be, it was like, I just wanted it to end. Wow, it got darker in the last half hour. I just watched Taifuu no Noruda, or Typhoon Noruda, which is this lighting is fucking bizarre. I'm just, like, taken aback. Hold on, let me open up another window or something. This is so weird looking. That's still pretty weird. Taifuu no Noruda is a 30-minute short film from Studio Colorido, which is a studio that seems to... I don't really know their story. It seems like they came out of nowhere in the last 5 years. You've probably seen their first work, which was Fumiko's Confession, a little 2-minute short that has like millions of views on YouTube. And they've made a bunch of these like really short films, like just a couple minutes long, most of which are really fun and adorable. But they definitely run the gamut of how interesting they are. Like, I didn't really enjoy Control Bear, but I loved Poulet no Isu. So they've been putting out like longer short films over the last couple of years, anywhere from like 13 to 30 minutes. I think this is the longest one they've done so far, Taifuu no Noruda, which really is more like 25 minutes because the last 5 is just the closing credits. But this one's not that great. I would say that it's very nice to look at, which all of their stuff has been, but most of their stuff has been more colorful and like imaginative. Like Fastening Days, which came out in 2014 and was on my 2014 best of list, was a really fun, colorful short that I really liked. This one is definitely going for like a Mamoru Hosoda feel, like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time or Summer Wars. Like, it really looks like one of those, and it seems to use a lot of directing techniques that feel very Hosoda-like. It's got that like that feeling of it's a grounded teenage story that happens to run in with this sci-fi story. And the plot starts off seeming pretty interesting because it's about these two guys who are fighting because one of them's planning to leave the baseball team and the other one's upset with him about it. But then from there, it really doesn't go anywhere. It's a very like cliched short film plot where basically a typhoon hits. The main character guy finds this girl who's like this mysterious girl who seems to be like getting attacked by the storm essentially, and she reveals to him that the world has to be reborn because she is going to be a link between an eye in the sky and an eye deep in the earth, and when that link is completed, then the earth will be reborn and she'll be destroyed or something, and he decides to save her, and he does. The end. So and the two guys like reconcile to help each other to save her, but like overall it's very minimal on the plot. It feels like a 5-page script almost that like a lot of it is just sitting around. Like there's a lot of downtime that I honestly got really bored during. There's a moment towards the end that is just groan-worthy. Spoilers if you were interested in watching this, because I will say I don't know that it's not worth watching because it is really nice to look at. Colorido definitely seemed like they're taking a lot of influence from like Ghibli and like in terms of their visual design, and they really emphasize like lots of animation. Like their stuff is really highly animated. They're probably doing some of the highest quality animation work in the industry right now. I think they did that McDonald's commercial that a lot of people enjoyed recently. I believe that was them. But while they have nice visuals, I don't think the story in this is worth sitting through the whole 30 minutes of it, unless you really just wanted to see something different that you haven't seen before. But there's this moment towards the end where, like, the main character, like, his whole thing is that he doesn't want to do baseball anymore, but he's supposedly, like, this great pitcher. And so, of course, at the last minute, when the girl is, like, floating in the air and the necklace thing that was controlling her is up there, he finds a baseball, and he throws the baseball and breaks the necklace. And the way it's presented is really corny, and it was like, oh, I can't believe they went there kind of thing. Like, really, guys? Come on. Like, it was very cliched, and I found it to be groan-worthy. I rolled my eyes all the way back into the back of my head when I saw that. So, ultimately, I didn't enjoy it that much. I give it like a 5. It was not great. It was better than Ongaku Shoujo, because that one was just annoying, but this one was just kind of boring. Again, like, I would feel bad about that, but I mean, there's plenty of other good Colorido shorts that you can watch. I recommend Fastening Days. I recommend all their 1 and 2 minute shorts. I haven't seen all of their other longer ones, so I might check out, more of those. But so far I've felt better about some of their shorter stuff, where it's more just about the inventive animation and the fun ideas, whereas this was a very tired idea for them. Like, something like Poulette's chair, Poulette no Isu, was so imaginative and fun and different, and this is not at all. This is, like, really tired and cliche. So it's kind of disappointing that this is what their first, like, 30-minute short film is. Yeah, I guess that's it. Alright, well, I watched the first episode of Kowabon, which is a little 3-minute episode horror anthology series, which I guess is supposed to be, like, based on technology and stuff. There's, like, been a weird emergence of, like, a bunch of these horror anthology short things in the last couple of years. Like, Yami Shibai sort of started it, and then I don't remember the name of the other one that started at the same time of Kowabon that was, like, utterly terrible. Like, it was so badly animated that it was really more hilarious than scary. And not in a good way. This Kowabon one is, like, rotoscoped, and the first episode was literally fucking unfriended. Like, it was just, this girl's in a Skype call, and then a scary thing happens in the Skype call, and that was it. That was the whole 3-minute episode. It was really dumb and corny, and then the ending theme was, like, this upbeat, chipper, fun ending, while showing how they rotoscoped the episode, like, showing the actors, like, live action. Don't know why. Very odd choice. So, like, it's neither scary nor funny. It was just dumb and weird. Which is probably why it has such a low score on my anime list. But, yeah, I have no interest in continuing that. I haven't been into any of those other ones either, just because I'm not really into horror in the first place, and not into anthology shows like that, so I usually just come away from these like, okay, I don't know what the point of that was. So that's how I feel about that one. It's time to look reality in the face. I just watched episode 1 of Anitore EX, a show that is 4-minute episodes where a cute girl does a very brief workout routine, and you're supposed to work out with her. It's a pretty solid show. The character art is gorgeous. Girl is super cute, and what's more attractive than a girl working out? Nothing. So I was like, well, my biggest problem with this show is that it's only 4-minute episodes that only came out once a week. Seems like a pretty, really minor workout, even if you were brand new to the concept of working out. But at the same time, I've been meaning to watch this show because I'm probably at my physical low point in my entire life. There was a period in 2014 where I was like, we'll say 45 pounds lighter, maybe 50, was working out with Victor, and, you know, I could do a considerable amount of push-ups and a whole lot of sit-ups. So I watched the first episode of this, and it's like 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups, and I'm like, where are you gonna get doing that much? But deep inside, I knew. So I went and did them just now. And, yeah, it was, I feel something in my abs and arms after a mere 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. So, you know, normally with workout videos, you re-watch them all the time. You do the workout every day. So I don't know if the idea with this one is you watch each episode every day until the next one comes out, and then maybe it'll get you to the next stage of the workout. I don't know, I haven't watched them all yet. But you know, I think maybe I need this show in my life right now. Because, God, I am fat and weak compared to how I have been in the past. Ugh. So yeah, we'll just put that one on a hold for now. And goddamn, that girl is adorable. So I just watched Cupid's Chocolates, which was the other Chinese cartoon from last year that is, for whatever reason, listed on my anime list. And this one was fascinating because it's a harem comedy anime through and through, just like any other generic harem comedy, but just off in weird ways. And it's actually pretty well made. Like, the character designs are good, the girls are all cute, the animation looks pretty good sometimes. There's some decent visual comedy in there, like some decent transitions. I would say it's pretty decently directed. It's only 13-minute episodes, but man, it's weird, because obviously it's all in Chinese. This one doesn't even have a Japanese dub. So it's that weird feeling of, like, everyone talks like an anime character except not in Japanese. It's in Chinese, which it reminded me of, like, when I was in the Philippines for a while, like, watching Tagalog dubs of anime, like, where they're obviously... I mean, I guess it's just like watching an English dub. No one quite sounds right. It's obviously not meant for this language, and it's just, like, weird hearing, like, other languages do Japanese anime voice acting. But it's weirder for this one because it's not a dub. It just is a Chinese show. And there was at least one moment where a character said something so Chinese that it needed a translation note. But then there were other moments where they said stuff that I don't even think is a part of the Chinese language. Like, at one point, the main character sneezes, and he's like, "Who's talking about me?" Isn't that a Japanese superstition? I don't know if China has that superstition, but it was interesting to see it in a Chinese show. There's a moment where, I'm gonna maximize this window and make it brighter. I'm so fucking dark. There's a moment where the guy goes like, like, in reaction to something, and I'm like, do they say that in Chinese? I really don't know. There's, like, a bunch of moments where I was like, is this just the most weeaboo cartoon that's ever happened? Because it's just, like, literally trying to be a Japanese anime, but it's Chinese. It felt very strange in that regard. And it's just, like, the plot is that the main character guy ate this cake with these girls, and anyone you share the cake with, they're now in love with you. So it's, like, the most generic possible harem plot. But the way that each girl's in love with him, like, one girl thinks that she's pregnant with his baby. One girl thinks that she has 2 kids with him already. And I was like, whoa, like, I've never seen that in anime before. Yeah, it was something, to say the least. I wouldn't say it was worth watching more of, because at the end of the day, it is just a generic harem anime. Like, I could watch any of them. I wouldn't say it's the worst. I wouldn't say it's the best. It's just exactly what it says on the tin, just that it happens to be Chinese. So yeah, I don't think I'll watch any more of it, but if you are into harem comedy shows and you want to see them all, or if you just want to watch something because it does have really cute girls in it, I recommend this show. Like, I definitely think it's worth the curiosity if this is your kind of show anyways. Oh my god! I finally watched a show I really, really liked. And also, it took me back to the late 2000s, 'cause it's not done being subbed yet. It's a show called Momokuri, which is a series of 26 12-minute episodes, of which 9 have been subtitled. It's not picked up by any of the streaming sites, apparently. It's just, one of the incredibly rare shows that's actually fallen through the cracks of subtitling, and thankfully, only the first 2 episodes aired in 2015, so I just watched the first 2 for the sake of this list, but they're great, and I'd love to see the rest. Apparently, it's a net animation that was based on, like, a web comic that like had a really weird release schedule where they released like the first 2 episodes on like Christmas Eve of last year, and then they released a huge chunk of them early in January and the rest of them early in February, like all on one day. But anyways, it's a high school rom-com, but a very cutesy one, and it's like, it starts off with a confession where the main girl confesses to this guy who she likes, and they start dating. He has no idea who she is, but accepts anyways, and he's just kind of this really nice, cute guy, and the girl, who also is incredibly adorable, has secretly been obsessed with him for a while, and she's like stalker level, like following all his movements, obsessed with everything he does, like knows everything about him to an extent that is terrifying, and it's adorable. The way it's well made, the character designs are great, the characters are adorable and fun, and I like them. It's very pleasant. The music is extremely pleasant. It's got a great soundtrack. Overall, well, I'm trying to figure out who did the music for this, because it sounded like very familiar. I don't even see music listed on the Mal page for it. But the director, it's written and directed by Yoshimasa Hiraike, who was a director of Sketchbook Full Colors and Amagami SS and Working and Kaleido Star and a bunch of other shit. He's like a very long time director, and it's interesting that he both wrote and directed the series. But it feels very tight. It's got lots of good visual comedy, lots of just fun scenes. I love it. Everything about it was pleasant. I was smiling all the way across my face for both of the 2 episodes I watched, and it's the best fucking thing I've watched since I started doing these stupid vlogs. But yeah, only 9 episodes subbed, and like only 4 of them are like high quality video. The other ones are like standard def subs, and then there's only 9, and then it just ends. It was like according to Mal, the group was just Momo subs, so obviously it's a group that it was just someone who was subbing just this show, and they haven't even done the whole show, as far as I can tell. I mean, it's possible there's more of it. I haven't looked super hard, but I couldn't find past episode 8 on any streaming sites. And I'm talking about, yeah, there's only 9 episodes subbed, even on torrent sites, in 360p. I don't know if the show is just broadcast super low quality or what, but goddamn. Yeah, I would love to see a subtitle effort continue for this show. Not a lot of people seem to have seen it or heard of it, I guess, so go check it out. Momokuri. It's great. I love it. It's adorable. I want more. Give me more.